Hey guys, welcome to the start of FemmeFanTale. This is a new readathon, or not a new readathon, but it's a readathon that I'm starting for this week. The premise is that we are reading just fantasy books written by female authors. I'm so excited. I had the best of intentions of doing this readathon when they did it back in the spring, back in March, but as we know, March was difficult and it didn't quite come together the way I had hoped. So I'm extra excited for this round. Hello. I'll admit we had a bit of a slow start this morning. I will put somewhere up here the bingo board that Jean, who is the moderator for this, has put together for it. And we're gonna run through the prompts real quick and just show you kind of the premise of my PBR. As you can see, there are 12 prompts, which we're not gonna get that done, but we'll see how it goes. So the first book that I have, which I've actually already started, I'm about third of the way through. This is These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling, and this is going to be for the LGBTQ+ prompt. And then we have The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. This will be the standalone prompt. Then for the pre-2000 prompt, I have an audiobook of Dealing with Dragons, which is one of my favorites from childhood. I re-listen to it or reread it like every 3 or 4 years. It's one of my favorites. It's great. And it was published in 1990. So I'm very excited for that. And with those three, that'll complete a bingo down that one row. I don't see any reason why I won't be able to get that done because none of those are very long books. So once those are finished, we're gonna continue on, even though I have no intention of getting more bingos. I don't see that happening. Anyway, so the next book, once I finish those three, I'm gonna move on to The Diviners by Libba Bray. This will be for the book in a series prompt. If I finish that, then I have The Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place, number 3, The Unseen Guest, checked out from the library. This will be for the Europe prompt. And then if I somehow manage to finish all that, I have Harrow the Ninth, which is actually more of a sci-fi. It takes place out in space, but the author is from New Zealand. So this will be for the Oceania prompt. So yeah, that's all my books for the week. Very excited about all of them. Going back to our first one, These Witches Don't Burn. As I said, I'm about a third of the way through, and I am really enjoying it so far. Basic premise is we're in Salem, and we have our lead character, Hannah, is in a coven, and she is learning some magic, and she's really enjoying it, and she feels very strongly about the things that she's learning. And then there's some bad things that start happening. There are fires, there's mysterious pentagons. Yeah, so she's trying to figure out what's happening, and she is having to work with her ex, Victoria, a little bit, because her ex is also in the same coven, just a little bit more advanced. So her ex has been helping her with some of the investigation, even though they are not getting along. And there's a new girl in town that Hannah likes, that but like I said, it's a new girl, so they don't really know anything about her. So yeah, there's some mystery happening, and I'm enjoying it. And yeah. I'll update more as we go along. Good morning. Somebody has finally worn himself out. Thank goodness. There was a lot of energy this morning. There was actually some Twitter sprints earlier, And I swear I only got 20 pages read the whole time because he was a lot. He was a lot this morning, I'm not gonna lie. But he's finally worn himself out, which is good. And I'm about to get up. It is, I don't even know, I think it's going on 11. I have to have an early lunch today because I have a dental appointment at 12:30. Get some sealants redone. I'm pretty satisfied with how far we've gotten in These Witches Don't Burn. I passed the 200 page mark, which is nice. This is a very fast-paced book. There is a lot happening. A little too much, honestly. It's one of those books that's just like bam, bam, bam. Stuff just keeps happening right after each other. And I wouldn't mind if it slowed down a little bit and just chilled a little bit. Yeah, so I don't think it's gonna be a new absolute favorite, but it is a really fun read. So yeah, I'm gonna go make myself some lunch. Then, like I said, got the dental appointment. And then I actually have to go to the Geico office. There's a Geico office right off base. And I have to pick up like the final paperwork for our car insurance or something like that. It's supposed to be done today. And then I also, excitingly, just got a message that we have a couple packages to pick up at the post office. So that's cool. And yeah, hopefully get a little bit more reading done. I definitely want to finish These Witches Don't Burn today. I only got about 100 pages left, so that's definitely doable. And then start the next book, which I think is going to be the Scorpio races. Yeah. Someone got something exciting in the mail today. Okay, so I am back from all my errands, and they didn't have the final policy at Geico, so I ended up just kind of walking around town a little bit and actually worked up a bit of a sweat because it's kind of hot outside right now. So now that I'm back, I'm actually gonna go ahead and do a little workout. We're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna get back to reading. I finished These Witches Don't Burn, which was okay. It was very fast-paced, and if I'm honest, it was a little too much. Like, it had a little too much going on. I wouldn't have minded if it slowed down a little bit, but it was fun. It was very cute romance. I liked that they really fleshed out the story with the ex and kind of showed the post-relationship side of things, which you really don't see in YA very often, so that was nice. Yeah, so I think that's going to be a 3-star. And next is the Scorpio races, which I have very high hopes for because I have loved everything that Maggie Stiefvater has written. Yeah, so here's hoping. That is really good as well. Hey guys, long time no vlog. I have been absent the last couple of days because the internet went out in my house, which was not fun. Let me tell you, it's been, I think they were just completely swapping out systems. Like, I had guys up in the ceiling rewiring stuff and installing a new router box and all kinds of stuff. It was crazy. Anyway, we're gonna do something a little fun today. I'm gonna dye my hair. It's exciting. I have not done this before. I dyed my hair bright red back in the spring when I first got out of the Navy, and I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was gorgeous. It was a little expensive though. A little more than I can afford to actually do the upkeep for. So we're gonna do it myself this time around. I am going to be using Overtone. This is the brand I decided to go with. Is that focusing? Yeah. A couple of reasons. Big thing is you can see they have a line specifically for brown hair, which is great because I need that. And second thing, so when I got my hair dyed in the spring, gave me all the warnings about how you're gonna wanna take cold showers to extend the life of the hair dye, which I hate. I hate taking cold showers. It is the worst. And apparently this Overtone brand, so one of their deals is, I should take my ring off. One of their deals is that they recommend you actually take hot showers while you have the hair dye in. And the hot water actually activates or does something with the chemistry of their product. So that's cool. So I got some gloves because that's important, and hopefully this turns out good. I'm sure it'll be fine. Reading wise, I've gotten quite a bit of reading done. I finished Scorpio Races. That was so good, 5 stars. I was a bit of a horse girl when I was younger, and that book appealed to that horse girl of 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I guess now. God, I'm old. This is so bright red. So that's the color we're working with. Ooh, that's bright. Yeah, so I love that book. I was a little nervous because the author, Maggie Stiefvater, is one of my most favorite authors. I love her to pieces. And so I was nervous that maybe I had like it too hyped up in my head and it wouldn't, live up to expectations. But should not have worried. Maggie is the best. She really is. It was a great book. It had beautiful, beautiful atmospheric writing, and I thought it had a pretty accurate portrayal of actual horse behavior, which I liked. Didn't fall into a lot of the basic horse girl tropes that you see so often in books and movies, actually more often in movies I think than books. But yeah, it was great. I loved it. Basic premise of the book is we're on this island that is never fully identified, but it has some very strong Celtic themes, so like either Scotland or Ireland. And for some reason, these water horses, whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce, are drawn to the island. And they are like your typical, or not typical, but like kelpie type of water horse where they are carnivorous. And people on the island try to capture the horse, and if they capture them, then they will try and tame them and train them to, is it supposed to be like this? It's like one fully stiff thing. I don't know, that feels weird. I don't know if that's right, but okay. Anyway, so yeah, so they capture the horse and then they're trying to tame it, but like I said, it's a carnivorous, crazy animal, and so a lot of people die. They get killed by the horses, get eaten by the horses. Yeah. This doesn't feel right. Why is it so stiff? Is it supposed to be like that? I'm trying to like, I know they talk a lot about like coating every strand. I don't think I've done that very well, but hopefully it looks okay. Can always go over it again, I guess. Anyway, so we have Sean, who has a water horse that he's raced on before and won, I think, 4 times on. And he has a very strong connection with that horse, but he doesn't actually own it. It's owned by one of the breeders, a horse breeder trainer person on the island, who's one of those like owns all parts of the town people. And then the other person is Puck, who is a girl who is in danger of losing her family's house, and so she wants to win the pot for the race in order to help save the family home. And they end up training together and falling in love. It was a very nice romance. I really like the romance in this book. And sorry, I keep getting distracted by my hair. But yeah, it was a great book. 5 stars. I have also pretty far along in Dealing with Dragons. I've just been listening to a little bit of that every night. It's not very long, it's only like 5 pages, or 5 hours long. So yeah, that's going great. It's a basic story of princess who doesn't want to do your typical princess things, and so she runs away from home and ends up living with a dragon. Yeah, so kind of standard in that regard, but it's not really doing anything crazy out of the box, but I love it. It's one of those books where I read it at just the right time, and yeah, it had a really big impact on my childhood, and love it to pieces. And I think it's stood the test of time. Okay, I think, like I said, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know if I have fully saturated all strands like I'm supposed to. Yeah, so we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully it looks good. Alright, hopefully that turns out good. This turns out good. I'm gonna set the timer now, and I will see you guys on the other side. And we're back, and I look great. Oh my gosh, I am so pleased with how well that turned out. That was really easy. Wow, that's awesome. Definitely will be doing that in the future and not paying hundreds of dollars to do it in a salon. Yay. In other news, I started The Unseen Guest, and I am loving this series. The Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place. It's just quirky and fun and cozy fall reading. It's great. I will say, I do think listening to it with the audiobook, which is how I read the first 2 in the series, is a slightly better experience. The narrator is great. Great choice for that series. But yeah, the book is great too, and I'm just enjoying it. And we're just gonna get all cozy up in bed with my beautiful new hair and read some more. Yay! Oh, I love it so much. All right, it is the last night of the readathon. So we are breaking out the sangria, which I am in love with this particular brand, by the way. New favorite thing. I got this oh so appropriate wine glass. We're gonna go knock out the last 100 pages of The Unseen Guest.